Ladies and gentlemen, the US Secretary of State is a very powerful individual in the United States of America. This gentleman recently made a call to President William Ruto, not the first time, but the second time since the protests of June 2024. Why has he made these calls? There's one constant thing in these two calls that the Secretary of State of the United States of America said to William Ruto. This is accountability from the security forces, accountability from the police officers who usually handle cases to do with the demonstrations in the country. Now, first of all, let me take you through on some of the things that happened during the June 2024 that resulted to the Secretary of State making a call to President William Ruto. Let me tell you that Kenyans were fed up by the high taxation that William Ruto kept on introducing. And why was this? At first, President William Ruto brought Finance Bill 2023. It was subjected to public participation, and 95% of Kenyans said no to that Finance Bill 2023. Regardless of the Kenyans' opinion, President William Ruto and his team, where Rigathi Gachagua was part of it, they said that it was going to be passed without even touching a comma. The bill was passed in Parliament. William Ruto assented to it. So, it was effective. Kenyans experienced high taxation that they had never experienced before. But now there was something that was worrying Kenyans. The flamboyant life of most of the politicians that were close to William Ruto, the kind of expenditure that was in the government, the kind of movement William Ruto was making both internationally and locally, and the kind of utterances and harambes that we were seeing in various parts of this country where huge amounts of money were being dished. In particular, from the politicians. So Kenyans kept on asking, why do we have this kind of expenditure, this kind of flashing of money here and there? Why do we have it, yet we don't have development in the country? There was no single road that was being launched under Ruto's government. There was no single big project that was being launched in the government. But you were seeing constant expenditure by the state officers, ministers, members of parliament, that was worrying Kenyans that where are they getting the money from that Kenyans were not getting. The conclusion of Kenyans was simple. This is corruption. So when William Ruto introduced the Finance Bill 2024, Kenyans led by the Gen Zs went to the streets, actually not first to the streets, social media, and told the MPs, please say no to the Finance Bill 2024. They went to the churches. They started demonstrating slowly, step by step, telling the members of parliament to vote against the Finance Bill 2024. Just as they did in Finance Bill 2023, they did not listen to the people but listened to President William Ruto and voted yes to the Finance Bill 2024. Kenyans were agitated by that. They went to the streets and started demonstrating. The climax of the demonstrations were on 25th June 2024, where Kenyans, particularly led by the Gen Zs and millennials, occupied parliament. Regardless of this, still MPs voted yes in support of the bill. Kenyans went to parliament, and strange things happened after that and during that time. During that time, we had Kenyans getting shot right in the streets of Nairobi and other parts of the country, but they were more in Nairobi, shot straight to the head, youths who were holding flag, water, and a phone, going to tell the MPs, please vote no. Something that could have been stopped by the MPs just simply voting no. Kenyans were shot and killed. Thereafter, there were abductions and abductions and abductions by the government people. The government first of all introduced civilian people within demonstrations who were in civilian with first police officers who were in civilian, vehicles without number plates. They were in masks going for the Kenyans who were simply harmless. These people could take Kenyans, fright left and center, put them in Subarus and they disappear. If they were doing the right thing, why was the government bringing people who are covered in masks? Regardless of that, they came to the streets, 2 Kenyans. Actually, some of them disappeared. Some of them were found dead and floating on in some rivers, in some water bodies, in some quarries. Some of them disappeared up to date. And none, and the actual President William Ruto has refused to say that, there are no abductions that have reached his desk so far. When William Ruto gave a speech after 25th June 2024, he said that they were criminals trying to occupy parliament. So he did not believe that this was organic. This was something that started from Kenyans because of the high taxation and poor development. Now, after William Ruto's speech and after all these activities, the Secretary of State called William Ruto and he talked about a police accountability. He did the same thing yesterday, telling President William Ruto police accountability, a constant factor in that. And the reason as to why he was telling William Ruto that there should be police accountability in the country, it is because of the abductions that are going on and people are missing. As for me, I feel this is a strong warning to President William Ruto that there's no way you can treat Kenyans the way they are. So as we speak today, actually in yesterday's news, there's a mother who has never seen his son since 25th June 2024. The son is missing, the mother is crying, the son was 27 years old, and he does not know where he's up to now. And he was later told he attended the demonstrations. So that means he was either shot, abducted, or even killed at that time. The mother was crying in pain that I just want his son. His name, I think, was Shege or Njenga. That was a very sad story to watch last evening. And William Ruto says he has never seen anything to do with abductions. And the inspector of police says police do not abduct. Recently, we had cases of people getting abducted until the government, the public cried over it, and that's when we had them being released. Kithure Kindiki was in charge of the abductions and also the arrests that were happening at that time. He is now the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. What a ignorance from the President of Kenya. What such a big ignorance. So the Secretary of State is one William Ruto that let us have those people abducted returned home. If William Ruto does not do so, I am seeing some repercussions coming on his way. Probably ICC now being revived, or even having Kenyans going to reject him further and further. So my message today is to President William Ruto. Let this country be a country of free speech. That's how you'll grow as a president. Bringing the Moi era things that we never experienced now, becoming so new to us, it's uncalled for. The Constitution gives us the freedom to express ourselves, critique, and even at least even do other things, so long as we don't harm other people. I don't know what's your take. Kindly, if this is the first time watching our videos, kindly make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support Condos give this channel. My name is Abdul Mukwa.